parallel universes. Are we truly alone? Somewhere out there, in a reality just beyond our grasp, another version of you is living a slightly different life. Maybe they chose tea instead of coffee this morning, or maybe they are exploring a world where dinosaurs never went extinct. This is the mind-bending idea of parallel universes, a concept that challenges everything we know about reality, identity, and our place in the cosmos. Are we truly alone in our universe, or are there infinite versions of ourselves, each living a unique story? Today, we're diving into the multiverse theory, a journey that blends cutting-edge science, philosophical wonder, and a touch of existential awe. Buckle up, because reality is about to get a lot weirder. But before we begin, let's consider something profound. Every decision you've ever made, every path you've chosen, every moment of chance that shaped your life, what if they all happened? What if somewhere in the vast expanse of existence every possibility plays out? The job you didn't take, the person you didn't marry, the city you didn't move to, they might all be real, just in different versions of reality. Let's start by asking, what if our universe is just one page in an infinite book of realities? And if so, what does that mean for who we are? What does it mean for free will, for consciousness, for the very nature of existence itself? Historical and scientific context. The idea of multiple worlds isn't new. Ancient philosophers like Zeno of Elea toyed with the notion of infinite possibilities, but it wasn't until the 20th century that science gave the multiverse a serious stage. It all began with quantum mechanics, that strange realm where particles can exist in multiple states at once, like a cosmic game of probability. In 1957, physicist Hugh Everett proposed the many worlds interpretation, a bold idea suggesting that every quantum event spawns a new universe. Choose to wear a red shirt? Somewhere, a universe exists where you picked blue. It was a radical departure from the traditional Copenhagen interpretation, which suggested that quantum superposition collapsed into a single state when observed. Everett's thesis advisor, John Wheeler, initially rejected the idea as too speculative. But as quantum mechanics revealed more of its mysteries, the many worlds interpretation gained traction. Nobel laureate physicist Murray Gell-Mann endorsed it, and by the 1980s, it was a serious contender in quantum theory. Fast forward to today, and the multiverse isn't just a quantum quirk. Cosmologists like Max Tegmark have created a taxonomy of multiverses, identifying 4 distinct types. There's the Level 1 multiverse, where regions beyond our cosmic horizon contain the same physics but different arrangements of matter. The Level 2 multiverse, born from eternal inflation, where different regions have different physical constants. Level 3 encompasses the quantum many worlds, and Level 4 suggests that all mathematical structures exist as physical realities. Brian Greene, the renowned physicist and author, has popularized these ideas, arguing that the multiverse could explain one of cosmology's greatest mysteries: fine-tuning. Why are the laws of physics just right for stars, planets, and life? Why is the cosmological constant so precisely balanced that it allows galaxies to form? One answer: maybe they're not perfectly tuned at all. Maybe there are infinite universes with every possible combination of laws, and we're just in one of the rare ones that works. It's like playing a cosmic lottery, where the odds of winning are astronomically small, except there are infinite tickets, and we happen to hold a winning one. This anthropic principle suggests that we observe a universe compatible with life, precisely because we exist to observe it. String theory, another pillar of modern physics, also hints at a multiverse. It suggests our universe is one of 10 to the power of 500 possible configurations, a number so vast it makes the estimated number of atoms in the observable universe look minuscule. But here's the catch: we can't directly observe these other universes. They're beyond our cosmic horizon, like ships sailing past the edge of a flat Earth. Core scientific facts and hypotheses. So, what's the science behind the multiverse? Let's break down the key theories and evidence. The many worlds interpretation says that every quantum event, like an electron choosing a path through a double-slit experiment, creates a new reality. In one universe, the electron goes through the left slit. In another, it goes through the right. But here's what's truly mind-bending. Both universes are equally real. We only experience one branch of this constantly splitting reality tree. Consider the famous Schrödinger's cat thought experiment. In the traditional interpretation, the cat is both alive and dead until observed, but in the many worlds view, the cat is alive in one universe and dead in another. The observation doesn't collapse the wave function, it just determines which branch of reality we experience. This interpretation solves several quantum paradoxes but creates others. If every quantum event splits reality, the number of universes grows exponentially. Every nanosecond, countless new realities branch off. It's an elegant solution to quantum weirdness, but it comes at the cost of accepting infinite parallel realities. Then there's the cosmological multiverse, tied to inflation theory. In the early 2020s, data from the Planck satellite and the James Webb Space Telescope confirmed that our universe expanded rapidly after the Big Bang, a process called inflation. This expansion was so fast that regions of space moved apart faster than light could travel between them. Andre Linde, one of inflation theory's founders, proposes that this process never truly ends. It continues creating bubble universes, each with potentially different physical laws. Our universe might just be one bubble in an infinite cosmic foam, eternally growing and spawning new realities. Some versions of string theory suggest the existence of extra dimensions beyond our familiar 3 spatial dimensions and 1 time dimension. These theories predict that our universe is a 4-dimensional brane, floating in a higher dimensional space called the bulk. Other branes, other universes, might exist just millimeters away in these extra dimensions, yet be completely inaccessible to us. But here's the fundamental challenge. How do we test these ideas? Traditional science relies on observation and experimentation, but the multiverse seems to defy both. We can't build a device to peek into parallel universes or travel to alternate realities. Some scientists suggest looking for indirect evidence. Cosmic microwave background radiation might show bruises from collisions with other universes. Gravitational waves could carry signatures of extra dimensions. Experiments at the European Organisation for Nuclear Research's CERN's Large Hadron Collider probe for evidence of extra dimensions by looking for particles that might leak into them. The search for dark matter and dark energy, which make up 95% of our universe, might also reveal multiverse signatures. Some theories suggest these mysterious components could be influenced by interactions with parallel realities. As of 2025, no definitive evidence for the multiverse exists, but the search continues. New telescopes, particle accelerators, and quantum computers might eventually provide the breakthrough we need. Philosophical and ethical implications. Now, let's explore the profound philosophical implications. If parallel universes exist, what does that mean for consciousness, identity, and free will? Are there infinite versions of you? And if so, are they really you? This question touches the heart of personal identity. Philosophers have long debated what makes you you. Is it your memories, your physical body, your consciousness, or something else entirely? If every possible version of your life exists somewhere, which one is the real you? The successful entrepreneur, the struggling artist, the one who never left their hometown, or the one reading this script right now? Perhaps they're all equally real, each experiencing their own authentic existence. This multiplicity raises profound questions about responsibility and meaning. If every choice creates a new universe, does it matter what we do? In one reality, you might save a life. In another, you might fail to act. Some philosophers argue this makes moral choices meaningless. Why struggle to do good if every possible outcome occurs anyway? But others find this liberating rather than nihilistic. David Deutsch, a quantum physicist and philosopher, argues that the multiverse gives our choices ultimate significance. Every decision matters because it determines which branch of reality we experience. We can't control all possible outcomes, but we can influence our own path through the multiverse. The ethical implications become even more complex if we could ever access parallel universes. Would we have the right to exploit them? Imagine discovering a universe rich in resources but devoid of life. Would mining it be ethical? What about universes with different versions of ourselves who might object to our interference? Consider the psychological impact of knowing that all possible versions of your life exist. Would it be comforting to know that somewhere you achieved your dreams, or devastating to realize that happiness might be forever out of reach in this reality? mental health professionals might need entirely new frameworks for helping people cope with multiverse anxiety. The concept also challenges our understanding of death and meaning. If infinite versions of you exist across the multiverse, does death lose its finality? Some interpretations suggest that consciousness might quantum tunnel between realities, making death impossible. But this raises new questions. Would this immortality be a blessing or a curse? Religious and spiritual frameworks would need fundamental revision. Many faiths emphasize the uniqueness and preciousness of individual souls. How would these beliefs adapt to a multiverse where every possible version of every person exists? Would divine judgment apply to all versions of a person, or just the one in this reality? The multiverse also democratizes existence in a strange way. In traditional cosmology, we might be alone in the universe, making human consciousness rare and precious. But in an infinite multiverse, consciousness might be common, existing in countless forms across countless realities. This could be either humbling or terrifying. Possible future scenarios. Let's explore several potential futures for humanity's relationship with the multiverse. Scenario 1. The age of multiverse detection. By 2050, advances in quantum computing and gravitational wave detection allow us to identify subtle signatures of parallel universes. We discover that certain quantum experiments produce results that can only be explained by interference from alternate realities. Gravitational wave detectors reveal anomalies suggesting the existence of other brains in higher dimensional space. This discovery transforms human civilization. Philosophy and religion undergo radical revision as we grapple with our place in an infinite multiverse. Some people find profound comfort in knowing that all possibilities exist somewhere. Others experience existential crisis, questioning the meaning of their choices and actions. Education systems worldwide implement multiverse literacy programs, teaching people to think in terms of probability and parallel possibilities. Therapy and counseling adapt to help individuals cope with the psychological implications of infinite existence. Scientists develop multiverse mathematics, new ways of calculating probabilities across multiple realities. This leads to breakthrough technologies and unprecedented understanding of quantum mechanics. Scenario 2. The multiverse communication era. By 2080, quantum entanglement experiments achieve something unprecedented. They establish limited communication with parallel universes. The first messages are simple, basic information about physical constants and natural laws. But gradually we learn to exchange more complex data. This creates a new form of diplomacy, negotiations between different versions of humanity. Some realities have solved problems we're still struggling with: climate change, poverty, disease, or conflict. Others face challenges we've never encountered. Trade relationships develop, not of physical goods, but of information. We share scientific discoveries, cultural achievements, and philosophical insights. But tensions arise when we encounter realities where humanity made different moral choices, versions of ourselves we find difficult to accept. The discovery of realities where humans never evolved, or where entirely different forms of intelligence arose, expands our understanding of consciousness and life itself. Scenario 3. The multiverse exploration age. By 2150, breakthrough discoveries in physics allow limited travel to parallel universes. The first explorations are scientific expeditions to study realities with different physical laws. But as the technology matures, economic and political interests take over. Corporations begin reality mining, extracting resources from universes where Earth is uninhabited. Some versions of humanity become interdimensional nomads, traveling between realities to find the best possible worlds. But this golden age of exploration turns dark when we encounter hostile versions of ourselves, realities where humanity developed different values or capabilities. Interdimensional conflicts arise, forcing the development of new forms of warfare and diplomacy. Ethical debates rage about our responsibility to less developed versions of ourselves. Should we share our technology with realities where humanity is still struggling? Or would intervention violate some cosmic prime directive? Scenario 4. The multiverse rejection. By 2200, after centuries of searching, no evidence for parallel universes has been found. The multiverse theory joins the ranks of discarded scientific ideas like the luminiferous ether or phlogiston theory. Humanity turns its attention inward, focusing on consciousness, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. Instead of exploring parallel universes, we create them. Advanced civilizations build vast computer simulations containing entire universes with their own forms of life and consciousness. We become gods of our own multiverses, crafting realities according to our deepest desires and wildest imaginations. But questions linger. Are we ourselves living in such a simulation? And if so, does it matter? The distinction between real and simulated realities becomes increasingly meaningless as our artificial universes become indistinguishable from natural ones. Final reflection. Whether the multiverse is real or not, the idea forces us to confront fundamental questions about existence, meaning, and our place in the cosmos. Are we solitary travelers in a unique universe, or are we part of an infinite symphony of possibilities? The search for parallel universes isn't just about physics, it's about understanding who we are, why we're here, and what it means to be conscious in an apparently vast and mysterious cosmos. Like the ancient sailors who charted unknown seas, driven by curiosity and the human need to explore, we're compelled to ask, are we truly alone? Consider the profound loneliness that might come with being the only conscious beings in existence, versus the overwhelming complexity of infinite consciousness spread across countless realities. Both possibilities are simultaneously humbling and terrifying. Perhaps the answer lies not just in discovering whether other universes exist, but in how we choose to live in this one. If this is the only reality we'll ever experience, then every moment becomes infinitely precious. If infinite versions of our lives exist elsewhere, then the one we're living right now, this exact experience you're having as you listen to these words, is still uniquely yours. The multiverse theory reminds us that reality might be far stranger and more wonderful than we can imagine. It challenges us to think bigger, to question our assumptions, and to remain open to possibilities that stretch the boundaries of human understanding. In the end, whether we're alone in a single universe or surrounded by infinite realities, the sense of wonder that drives us to ask these questions is perhaps the most remarkable thing of all. That wonder, that curiosity, that irrepressible human need to understand and explore, that might be the most universal constant of all. So look up tonight. Wonder, dream. Because in this universe, or any other, you're part of something vast, something mysterious, something that dares us to keep asking, what else is out there? And perhaps more importantly, what does it mean to be here, now, in this moment, pondering these infinite possibilities? The multiverse may be the greatest mystery science has ever contemplated, but perhaps the greatest mystery is consciousness itself, the fact that the universe has evolved beings capable of wondering about its own nature. Whether there's one universe or infinite universes, that remains absolutely extraordinary.